Right, we're live. I think we're live. Okay. Yes, I think we're live. Can you see on your phone if we're live? Have we got an advert? Right, okay. That's alright, I'll be making me some money. Top chat. Yep, there we go. Video plays soon. Should be live. We've got 2 thumbs up from somebody. Oh, there we go. There we go. Can you hear me? If you can just stand away somewhere. Just hello everybody, and a very warm welcome, literally, from the Canary Islands. It's December. It's 23 degrees as I stand here at the end of Lanzarote Airport for today's 1 hour live from the Canary Islands, as I say. So we've got a nice afternoon this afternoon. For the next hour we've got some really good busy arrivals, busy departures, some flights from Northern Europe for our sun-seeking friends. I arrived yesterday, last night, and really nice temperatures. We've got also some unusual aircraft. We've got the Binter aircraft, of course, the inter-island services. We've got some Canary Fly, and we've got the usual TUI, Jet2, British Airways, Lufthansa, Condor, etc, etc. So what we're going to do is we'll chat as we walk. I'm just going to take a quick walk up here, and we'll see what we can gather. We're just going to wander to the end of the runway so we can literally see the belly of the aircraft as we are heading towards the runway here. Did the sound come across okay? Awesome. Right, so what we'll do is we will pitch up in Lanzarote Airport. We will once we're at the end of the runway, we'll hopefully get to see some arrivals, and from there what we'll do is I've got my chief editor with me, who is going to monitor the iPad just to see what arrivals we've got coming in. We'll pop the camera down so we don't get any wobble, so you get a good clear view of this afternoon's beautiful arrivals here in glorious Lanzarote. As you can see, it's busy. It's December. It's busy. Watford FC, afternoon from work, hope you're well. Kieran, good afternoon. Thanks for joining, hope you're well. Working. I was going to say working on a glorious day like this, but I guess where you are it'll be a bit cool. And we've got one coming in now, and I'm sure Sam's going to tell us where it's coming from. So let's just watch this one coming in. And I'm just going to straighten my camera here. Just going to straighten her up a little bit there. So we have got something coming in. We're just waiting to find out where it's from. No doubt a tourist aircraft. Any word on that? It is a TUI from Luton. A TUI from Luton, no doubt filled with excited holidaymakers coming for their glorious 2 weeks in December. And I have to say, coming here in December it's a really good idea, because if, like me, you bake in the summer sun in August and sort of July, August, this is definitely the time to come. But here we've got the TUI 737 from Luton, so that will have been in the air for 4.5 hours or so. I'll just go quiet while we watch it land. And there we go. Let's take a wander further up to the runway. So we got through immigration last night at Lanzarote Airport, and for those of you who've been to Lanzarote in the last year or so, you'll know that at the moment it's quite possible that they don't stamp passports. If you've got a British passport, you go through the e-gates and there's no stamping, so it's very quick. It was very quick last night, wasn't it, through Lanzarote, and which is odd, because when you go to any of the other islands like Tenerife, Fuerteventura, etc., they are stamping passports, so they certainly have been with me this year. So Kieran, yep, have a great day at work, and hopefully you'll enjoy the catch-up. So yeah, as I was saying, very easy process to get through Lanzarote Airport at the moment. And of course, if you're not familiar with the Canaries, you get the year-round sunlight and the sunshine. So it doesn't go dark here until about 6 o'clock, 6:30, and it gets light a bit earlier than if you're in Northern Europe. And it's a very nice day, as you can see. So we've got one of the Jet 2s coming up next from Birmingham, an A321, not one of the newer ones, not one of the Sun C fleet or the G Sun fleet, Sun A, Sun B, Sun C, and so on and so forth. So they've got, obviously, Jet 2 have got the newer Airbus 321s based out of Manchester at the moment. They're the brand new 321s, the Neos. But this one's one of the older 321s that I think Jet 2 have been operating those for 3 years or so now. And they've got 3 of them, and they pop up kind of all over the Jet 2 network. Jet 2, of course, being a very successful airline, as I like to think of them, a bit like Dan Air, the modern day Dan Air. So yes, all good on this glorious day down in the Canary Islands in Lanzarote. So what you see ahead of you there is the barbed wire fencing at the end of the runway. So we literally are going to join some other spotters here, as we can see, some other aviation enthusiasts or people just with a passing interest who are also watching aircraft, a bit like Sam and I. And then we're going to be joined by our other friend Jack, who's with us on this trip. So Jack was having trouble putting his socks on earlier, so hopefully he's got that sorted now, and he's going to be here in the next few minutes, either with his socks on or without, we'll see. So I think it was his socks. He said he had a problem with his sock, or it was something that rhymes with sock. But anyway, I'm sure he'll be here momentarily. And Kieran, if you're watching this on replay, thank you very much. It all helps, and I know that you're a big fan of the channel. Very much appreciated. Kieran being one of our Patreon supporters, and hopefully there's a link to join Patreon if you wish. Upon joining, you get your keyring, you get your mug and your stickers, but I'll leave that to you, of course. Watching the videos and the lives is free if you want it to be. So here is the Jet 2. This is the 321 from Birmingham. Coolio. I need to figure out how to get to drive over there so we can park the car there, because less walking, happier Neil. So what have we got coming in now? We have got the Jet 2 A321 from Birmingham, full of yet more happy holidaymakers down to the glorious island of Lanzarote. And I'll stay quiet so you can watch it. And there she goes. And what we'll do is, if we walk up there, we'll be able to see the end of the runway, won't we? Do you want to go up there, or do you want to go down there? We'll go up here. And of course, call out folks if there's any problem with the sound, anything that you're not quite hearing, because as always, it is always a trial with these lives. You never quite know what the signal's like, you never know what the connection's like. What was the video quality like? Was it okay? Alright. Yeah, so lots of people on those little e-scooters. Jury's out down here in the Canaries. The scooters are everywhere. I quite like them personally. I don't mind them. I find them a very good alternative to taxis. Quite low cost, and they're and they're everywhere, so you can find them. You can pick them up quite easily. But the opponents say they're a menace. People are reckless. People leave them in the streets where they're not supposed to be parked, and they do. It's true. But what do you think? Do you love the scooters, or do you hate them, or are you middle of the road with it? So what's up next? Have we got anything in the imminent future? See what's going down next, folks. We've been live now for 10 minutes, and hopefully you're enjoying the show. we'll have some pushbacks. So what you'll be able to see, in fact, when we get the departures, so typically these sorts of Ryanairs, the Jet2 EasyJets, as you're probably familiar, is they generally have a turnaround of anything between 25 to 35 minutes, and British Airways I think has about an hour, but that's a different proposition. So if you're watching now, the jets that you're seeing coming in will be pushing back, and we'll see them right at the end. We'll see them do the turn at the end of the runway here, and they'll be airborne within about 35 minutes. So the one we just saw there, the Jet2 one, should be airborne again probably within the next 40 minutes or so. Ryanair I think has the quickest, the toughest one, which I think is around 20 to 25 minutes. So just looking at the arrivals board, we saw the Birmingham one come in. There's a Manchester 757, nice, due in at 13:30, so that'll be just turning now. We've got a Binter, as I said, the turboprop, the AT76. We've got some 737s, we've got another Binter. We've got the Fuerteventura flight coming in. That's a strange one, Fuerteventura. The TUI from Fuerteventura, oh maybe it drops off there and then comes here. And then we've got a Newcastle flight to round out the day, but we've also got some good departures coming up as well. So the departures are, as I say, the opposite of what we've just seen. So we've got the Dublin flight going out at 1:30. I can just see its tail at the moment, the Ryanair flight. Jet2, we've got a Lufthansa 320 heading up to Munich. Vueling, the airline reputedly of fine service, which goes back up to Malaga. And then we've got the Edinburgh and Tenerife flights, the Binter flight to Tenerife. But I think this is a Canary fly flight, if I'm not mistaken. So whoever you are just tuned in this afternoon, thank you. You're welcome. We are at the runway, the end of the runway at Lanzarote. It's a glorious day. We're just seeing the Canary fly, Binter's competitor, fierce competitor down here in the Canaries. Not sure where the Binter one's going, but we'll find out. Well, there it is. Noisy old things. We're not sure where the Canary flight's going actually. It doesn't appear to say anything on flight radar, but nevertheless an interesting aircraft to see. Noisy, but very fuel efficient for these short inter-island hops. About 18 to 20 minutes is their average sector length, and this is what they do all day long. And there she goes. And away she goes, wherever she's going. It'll be an island, or one of the local islands, perhaps Tenerife. And I've flown with them both, so if you want to see what they're like, I've done a video review of both Canary Fly and Binter right here on Moments in the Sky. Now, they are very different airlines, considering they compete with each other. The fares are very similar, but Binter offers so much more. So Binter, you get the in-flight snack as you're getting off the aircraft, which is a biscuit and a cold drink. And you did hear me right, you get that when you're stepping off the aircraft at the end of the flight. And with Canary Fly, you don't get anything. But the unusual thing with Binter, as you'll see when you watch the video, is they actually have live streaming. So they stream movies and TV episodes in flight. But because of the sector length, you basically only get sort of half an episode. So even if you try to watch my favourite Big Bang Theory, you'll stream it to your device. And of course, a quarter of an hour into the episode, the flight's descending and they make a rapid descent. So I found that when I did the video review from Tenerife over to La Palma shortly before the volcano erupted on that island and did so much damage. It was only about a month before that happened. So yeah, we're going to see now what we're going to see now. We're probably going to see there's another turboprop coming down here, which will probably be a Binter Canarias, which is the airline that I was just talking about. Very strange operating that service, which average sector length 20 to 25 minutes from here to say El Hierro, La Palma, Tenerife, Fuerteventura. But of course they offer this streaming service, which of course is not to be knocked. It's very welcome. But when you think that most of the big players around here that operate to the Canaries from Northern Europe, the likes of TUI, Iberia, so on and so forth, they don't offer that streaming service, and yet the local inter-island operator, Canary Fly, Binter rather, does. So it's all very odd. I don't know why. Perhaps somebody who's familiar with that airline knows why they offer that. Because it must cost them a lot of money to provide films and TV and stuff. And it wasn't really that well used. Last time I flew with them, it was not many people tuning in. So here is a Binter flight. Not sure where this one's going either. But nevertheless, you can usually hear them before you can see them. They operate the same aircraft type, fierce competitors with Canary Fly. Same aircraft type, pretty much same configuration, just a very different service. Binter is very definitely the premium carrier. So that's off to Gran Canaria. So this one is going from Lanzarote to Gran Canaria. Again, a short flight, probably 35, maybe 38 minutes. And a glorious day for flying, of course, a glorious day for flying. It must be really good to be an airline pilot down here in the Canaries, because you very rarely get bad weather. You do get the off days, you do get the rainy days, but very rarely, very rarely. I'll stay quiet while we listen to this go. And there's our Binter flight going to Gran Canaria, another fine Canarian island. I do love Gran Canaria. I prefer Lanzarote out of the two, but certainly you wouldn't turn your nose up at Gran Canaria. It's a nice island to visit, especially where I stay in Gran Canaria, up in Maspalomas there. It's very, very nice. Some nice hotels up there. The Lopisan I can recommend. It's the one I stayed at last time. So what time is it now? It is 26 minutes past 1, so we're going to see some real action, dare I say it, the pornography for the AvGeek, which would be the Boeing 757. Arguably one of the finest aircraft ever built. And I was just talking to Sam and Jack, my friends who I'm with on this trip. I was talking to them on the flight about the 757 last night, because it is, you know, if you're familiar with the 757, Jet2 operate them. It's old, it's kind of like, you know, it's old technology now. Very old technology compared to the new kids on the block, like the 73 Maxes and the 321 Neos. But it's really stood the test of time. And again, I've dedicated a whole video to the 757 on my channel. So if you want to see a bit more about what makes the 757 special, head on over to Moments in the Sky, where I've reviewed Jet 2, but more so the 757. And speaking of Jet 2, we've got a 737 just taxiing out now. Again, not sure where it's going, but I'm sure my helpful assistant will let us know. He's just looking it up now. Here she is. I'll try and focus on her. It's Belfast, yes, the 737-800 here is going to Belfast. So a similar flight duration to Manchester. The aircraft just heads a bit further west, going into Belfast, of course. Now she's holding short, which means there must be an aircraft on finals. So can't see anything yet, but can you see it? Oh yeah, there it is. Yep, there it is. Is that the 757? From Manchester, presumably, yeah. So yeah, we've got the 757 from Manchester coming in. The highlight of the show, the 757, and our friend Jack has just turned up at the same time. What a highlight for you all, Jack and the 757. It's on its way down now. The 757, what a mighty beast it is. The flying pencil. And exclusively now with Jet2, well, it's been like this for a while, it's from Manchester. And I'd highly suggest, if you want to try a 757, is to get one whilst you can, because the 757 is going to be retired in the next few years. Jet2 have already retired one recently. That went off for scrapping a few months ago, in fact about 4 or 5 weeks ago only. And so if you want to get one, Jet2, head on over to the Jet2 website and book one while you can, because they won't be around forever. They are old technology. Jet2's oldest 757 now is about 35, 36 years old, but still in fine fettle. And proof really of just how well built they actually were. So we've got the 757 just coming in now. Again, glorious Lanzarote afternoon. Don't be put off by the clouds. It's it's just hit 24 degrees this afternoon, and I've no doubt wherever you are, it's probably cooler than that. Probably cooler. Unless you happen to be in Florida, or on holiday somewhere else, or elsewhere in the Canaries. Here she is. I will stay quiet. Enjoy the 757. There you have it, folks, the mighty beast, which is the Boeing 757. What an amazing aircraft. A truly amazing, versatile aircraft. Excellent safety record, excellent passenger comfort, and incredibly versatile. So there's our 737, that's our Belfast flight, heading out now on probably a 4.25 hour flight from here, back up to Aldergrove, and a very busy route. Very busy route indeed. Sadly taking home a plane load of Northern Islanders who will be sad to be leaving. Such a fine island. Fortunately, pleased to say, as I stand here today, it's just the day 2 of my vacation down here, so I'm good, I'm happy. I'm very happy to be here, but of course, anybody departing today when it's 24 degrees, flying back up to Northern Europe when it's probably close on 0 or around 2 degrees above 0, not good, not good, not good. But let me know where you are. Let me know where you are in the world. I'd be fascinated to know. Let me know if it's warmer than 24 or cooler than 24 where you are. It's probably cooler. You always get the heat. It's always hot down here in the Canaries, even in December. You've got to ask yourself, would you, or when did you last stand outside in a t-shirt in December? And I can guarantee you it'll either be because you came down here to the Canaries or down to Larnaca in Cyprus, which is where I'm going next, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. I can guarantee you won't often have stood wearing a t-shirt in December in your back garden in the UK. So here goes our 737, and I'll just stay quiet. And there she goes off to Belfast, and I can just see an EasyJet Airbus coming down taxiway, just heading out to somewhere. I'm sure one of my friends will tell me where that's going. The Ryanair one's coming out. Have you got anything on approach? No? Right, so if you've just joined, welcome. We have an EasyJet plane going somewhere, not sure where it's going. Oh, right, okay.
This is an EasyJet flight to Gatwick.
Oh, to Gatwick, right, okay.
Behind it, Ryanair to Dublin.
Ah, okay, right, excellent. So we've got the EasyJet flight, so this is the Europcar Airbus, this one. it's heading back up to Gatwick, and then just behind it the Ryanair flight going out to Dublin. Yep, yep, yep. Let's just zoom in. There she goes. So the Airbus noticeably quieter than the 737 just behind. You could barely hear the Airbus, the wake from the Airbus. You could barely hear it as it was just taking off there. But the Ryanair one, this one in front, this one behind, the 737, you really will notice it. And you really will notice the difference. You can already hear it's a much noisier aircraft. Although this is not state of the art, of course. This isn't the MAX. The MAX, of course, is the much newer generation 737 with the much newer engines, a lot quieter, similar to the Airbus 320 in fact. But the Ryanair one will be noticeably noisier. And you also get that turbulence, you get the wake turbulence, the noise, the strange whirring noises. If you ever stand behind a 737-800 when it's landing, and if you want to see it, it was on my last video, one of the lives I did from Tenerife South a couple of months ago. And you really do notice that. You really do notice the swirling. It's a strange sensation. But I'll go quiet. Not that I need to, because you'll really hear the roar of this. Because these really are noisy on takeoff. So this Ryanair's just holding for a moment, just to let the Airbus head clear it with the minimum 60-second separation, just to avoid any potential conflict with air turbulence, of course, which is never a good thing. So that should be rolling in just a moment. So you probably saw that, you probably recognised if you were with us for when you saw the Airbus take off just ahead of it. The noise, the sheer difference in noise between the Airbus and the 737-800 is intense. You just can't miss the 737-800 from behind. It's so very noisy when it's on the rollout to take off. It's quite remarkable. The difference is remarkable between the noise you get from an Airbus 320 and the 737-800, but the MAX is a much quieter aircraft with its LEAP engines, much newer technology, but still a 60-year-old frame, 60-year-old design. 737, very old technology in general, a workhorse of the industry, of course, but yeah, very old design in terms of the slung engines and stuff. So anyway. There's a Jet 2 flight going out here. Not quite sure where this one's going. Where's this one going? Do you know where this one's going?
Newcastle.
Ah, Newcastle. Thank you. So this one, I've been on this flight actually. I've been on this one from here to Newcastle. Slightly longer flight. So usually around 4 hours 45, sometimes 5 hours. It's just that bit further north, obviously. But again, a very popular route. It was full when I did it a few months ago. So you'll hear the roar of the engines on this one as well. Ah, there we go. There we go. What the hell is that? What is that? I wondered what that noise was. That's not what from we're recording here though, is it? That's from...
That's what you took yesterday.
Oh, that's what you took. Oh, I remember your radio in that, yeah.
There's a Belling pushing back now from Malaga.
Is that it? Has it gone quiet now, is it?
No, there's a Belling aircraft.
Oh, right.
Back from
Okay.
Malaga.
So next
Can't
up...
see it.
no, I can't see it. I can see an Iberia one, but there is apparently a Vueling one going off to Malaga. Is it Malaga or Madrid? Malaga. There's a Vueling going up to Malaga. Apparently, it's pushing back, but can't see it. Have we got anything? Oh, there it is. Yeah. No, it's lit up, so it must be pushing. That's like you say. I can't see it though.
It's a shame there's two fences there.
It is. It's a real shame. It is.
You'd be able to get
Yeah.
the lens through one.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's good for when you get the arriving aircraft on this side, of course. Yeah.
When we were coming in last night, I could see this.
Yeah. Yeah.
As we returned.
Yeah. But there's a. Well, you were on it, weren't you? That 24-hour Lanzarote inbound camera,
Yeah.
which sits at the other end of the runway to
Yeah,
capture the
I turned it on,
arrivals.
so about halfway down the runway.
But it's really intelligent that, because when the aircraft lands and it starts taxiing in, it seems to switch to the,
Yeah.
so it gets it taxiing in as well.
Someone used to do it manually until
Oh, right.
about a year ago.
Right.
It wasn't that intelligent last year.
Right.
Because now it also posts underneath, there's a small banner where it says the details of the flight,
Yeah. Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it's from, aircraft type,
Yeah.
etc.
I used to watch it when I was eating my breakfast cereal, and I was just sat watching
Yeah.
instead of breakfast TV. It's far better to watch the Lanzarote live camera.
Yeah.
Here's the Vueling one. Here it is. So what we were just saying there is, if you really, really like watching Lanzarote Airport, and why wouldn't you? It's a nice airport, nice clear day most of the time. There is actually a 24/7 camera, which is at the other end of the runway, to capture the arrivals. Now it's actually quite intelligent. It runs 24 hours a day, but what it does is, when the aircraft lands, it will get the approaching aircraft so you can see the lights, you can see pretty much the view that we've got here for the arriving aircraft. But when it leaves the runway and heads off when it's taxiing into the terminal, the camera automatically switches to track that aircraft and then goes back to the approaches when the aircraft parks up on the stand. And it runs 24/7, and it's worthwhile doing. So it's somewhere in, just sort of off to the right a little bit, at the opposite end of the runway from where we are here. And it's mounted quite high up. It's so as you look at it, if you see the buildings in the distance, you're looking down on those buildings. So it's actually quite clever. It's actually it's really worthwhile checking it out. So I'm just going to have a look at the chat window now, because I've just realised I haven't done that. So I'll watch on playback. So that's Kieran. Yep. So Kieran, thank you very much for watching, and for watching on the playback as well. So if you are watching the live stream now here from glorious Lanzarote Airport, don't forget, introduce yourself, let me know where you are, and let me know what the temperature is wherever you are.
We've got a Binto over the shoulder coming.
Oh right, I'm being told we've got a Binto on approach now. This will be a noisy bugger, because they are.
Tenerife North.
From Tenerife North, yeah, so Binto has a big presence in Tenerife North, and if you were to fly anywhere to any of the other islands, most of the direct flights from Tenerife with Binto go from Tenerife North. They have a few from the south, but a big base up in the north there, and a nice airport. It gets shrouded in mist an awful lot, But yeah, here we go. So there's your Binter from Tenerife, and Whaling just heading out to Malaga, I understand. And we've just been told we've been joined by Hal, who is watching live as well. From Orlando, indeed, yes, indeed. So good afternoon or morning, Hal, whichever it is, where you are. Hope you're well and enjoying Orlando, of course. Another favourite destination. Fabulous place to visit. Well, he said good morning, so of course it's morning. So hello, good morning, Hal. That's what I should say. I'm sure it's very warm down in Florida today as well. So we've got the Whaling one just taxiing out now. I think I'm due a credits title. Well, you see, and I would give, I'm just being told I haven't given enough credit to my editing director here, because one of the party doesn't like to even be heard on camera. But yes, let's give him a round of applause to Jack for thank you, Jack, for your excellent research, and thank you to Sam as well. But Sam doesn't like to be to go on camera or to be heard. Because I shouldn't really tell you this, but Sam's actually special branch. So yeah, very much enjoying Orlando, Hal. Heading to the Falcon Heavy. Oh, that'll be exciting. Falcon Heavy launch. Oh, that'll be good. Get some excellent photographs there. There's the Whaling one going out. Away she goes. Malaga, what's that, 2 hours from here, maybe?
About 2 hours.
Yeah. Sam in special brand. Yeah, I think he is secretly, yeah. I'm not sure I should have said that on camera. I don't know if we're allowed to say that, but yeah. I had to walk away, I was laughing too much. Well, you see, this is the thing. Because we have so much fun here on the lives as well, you see, this is the thing. This is the thing. What day is it? Sunday? Right, okay. So, yep, so there's the Whaling one going. And we'll be doing this for another 20 minutes or so. So we'll be live for another 20 minutes. And away the Whaling goes. So what's up next, chaps? Have we got inbounds, outbounds? What's the deal? What's going down?
There's a plane. There is a TUI plane.
Oh, is there?
6 minutes away.
Okay.
Coming from Fuerteventura.
That's an odd one.
A positioning
Positioning flight, maybe, yeah.
The Nordic flights seem to do it, although this is the Belgian.
Maybe it's just to make the route viable. Maybe it
Yeah.
starts in Fuerteventura and picks up here. Or drops off here, I don't know. Yeah, so we've got a Fuerteventura flight, but it's with TUI. So
I think some of the Rhino aircraft are positioned between. Do they have a base on Tenerife?
they do in Tenerife, yeah, they do. Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that, folks. Camera just slipped there. So we're entering a bit of a quiet phase at the moment, just here down in Lanzarote. It also happens the same on Tenerife. Unfortunately, you do just get these quiet periods. But it will get busier in a few moments, I assure you. Let's just see what's coming up next. So, yeah, a little bit quiet at the moment, but Jack and the other person who we can't name is busy doing research to see what's inbound and what's outbound. But he can't speak, otherwise I'd have to change his voice. I'd have to put a voice synthesizer on. But anyway, let me tell you a bit more about what we've got coming up in the next 20 minutes or so. So we've got this odd flight with TUI, with First Ventura. I think we're going to see another Binter one coming in, perhaps. Yes.
30 minutes out, we've got another TUI flight from Newcastle. That's a Max 8.
Oh, a Max 8. A Max 8, yes.
So, can't name him.
Sorry.
Our friend's favourite.
Our friend's favourite, yeah, we're not allowed to mention his name. But yeah, our friend's favourite Max 8. He's not been on one yet, still a bit nervous. I must admit, I've been on a few Max 8s with Ryanair, and I'm still not 100% happy when I get on board one. But if you think about it, as I was saying to Jack and our anonymous friend last night, the 737 MAX is probably the safest airliner in the world at the moment because of all that extensive testing it went through to get it back airworthy. So if you think about it logically like that, actually it's probably quite a safe aircraft to get on board.
And I imagine for the pilots that fly them, the MCAS module is the most read section of the manual.
I would imagine so, yeah. Now it is, it wasn't
Yeah.
before, but yeah.
I don't think it was in
They
the
didn't know, they didn't, yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah. So we were just saying there about the 737 MAX 8, or the MAX generally, is and all that trouble they had with MCAS, which the pilots weren't even aware of in many cases. They now are aware of, and really a key safety feature of that aircraft. So I'll be quiet. And there we have the 737. Quite a fast approach, it has to be said. Flight time was just 8 minutes. I wonder if you could actually buy a ticket for that. I doubt it, but
It'd be fun though, wouldn't
it'd be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, yeah. 737 for 8 minutes.
I don't think you'd get a snack.
No, well, I mean, yeah. BA does a service from Manchester Heathrow in 32 minutes, and they just about get the snacks done. But 8 minutes, yeah, it wouldn't be worth putting the movie on, really, would it?
We've got a bit of a flurry in 25 minutes time.
Oh, have we?
All these are here.
Oh, right. Oh, I was going to just call it a day at 2 o'clock, but if we hang around for a few more minutes, we'll get all of them in. So we're 43 minutes into today's live here in Lanzarote. We have with us Jack. We have with us two very able researchers, Jack and an anonymous person who can't be mentioned, but his name begins with S, ends with M, 3 letters. But we can't say what his name actually is, so we'll just call him, we'll say he's our Japanese friend and he's called Sum. So his name begins with an S, ends with an M. So we're joined with Jack, I'm joined by my research friends Jack and Sum. So, and very interesting day out here this afternoon. And from here, so I was telling you earlier that in a couple of weeks' time, in fact next week, I'm back in Britain for just 2 days, and then from there I go on to Larnaca in Cyprus for a couple of days. So that's one of BA's longest Club Europe flights. Most of the time coming back it's about a 5-hour flight. So it's really pushing the limits as to what's acceptable in business class for an upright seat. But nevertheless, a nice flight and a nice country. I do like Cyprus. And for those of you who don't know, because of the job that I do, I get 4 weeks off at Christmas. So I'm trying to fill my time really. I'm trying to find useful and fun things to do. I could stay at home and do decorating, but that would be no fun, would it? So I am home for Christmas. But yeah, so starting off down here in the Canaries for near enough a week, and then 2 days back up home, and then up to Newcastle for a quick flight down to Heathrow, and then a longer flight down to Larnaca for a few days, back for Christmas, and then I'm touring the UK after Christmas. So got some interesting, great places to visit before I go back to work on the 8th of January. So a nice, good long holiday, which I'm quite ready for, to be honest. And what better way to spend a long holiday than flying, and when not flying, watching planes. It's a bit like a busman's holiday, isn't it, I suppose? But all good fun, all good fun. Have to run. Hal, thanks for joining. Heading to Universal. Great theme park, really good. Hope you enjoy it. I'm sure you will. I know you're a real fan of the theme parks. So have a great day. Thanks for joining. And I'm sure we'll be in touch soon. And we'll chat on WhatsApp, of course. So have a good day, Hal. And so yeah, just to update you. I mean, if you look around, just near the runway here, it is a popular place to do flight watching, to do plane spotting, because you can see here there's people of all ages, you know, some well-dressed people, some less well-dressed people, all watching planes, and that's what they come here and do. And you quite often see people come down here with their packed lunches. You quite often see people coming here all day and just baking in the sun, because if you're going to sunbathe, you might as well sunbathe and watch planes at the same time. So I'm not really a sun worshipper as such. I tend to just stay in the sun for 5 minutes and then end up going lobster coloured. But I do enjoy watching planes when I'm not flying, when I'm not in the air. So this is a really great afternoon out for so many people. People do love it. People really do enjoy plane spotting. And what better place to do it than the Canary Islands, where you've got those 25, 26 degree temperatures. Certainly if you come here in August, which I never do, for two reasons. Because in August it is really busy. It's absolutely rammed. It's a very, very popular tourist destination anywhere in the Canaries. But the other thing is that the temperatures are just so high here in the Canaries because you're so close to the equator. So in August, in July, August time, the temperatures can easily hit 38, 40 degrees, which is just too hot to go out. And don't forget, of course, the Canarian government recently decried that air conditioning in hotels was a gross polluter for environmental, for the CO2. So they've set a temperature which the aircon can't go below now, which I think is 21 or 22, which is quite cool if you're from Spain. I mean, cool in a temperature sense, I mean. But if you are Northern European like me, then, you know, actually 24, 21, 22 degrees is quite warm. So you think you've put the air conditioning really low in your room down here in the Canaries at 21, and it is still too warm to sleep at night. So yeah, it's a funny old quandary that you have down here in the Canaries in July and August, because it is so hot, and then you come into your room, which at first feels cooler, but then it's middle of the night and you just wake up and you're still baking hot. So as you can see, I'm just taking a walk now. I'm just going to take a walk up the hill here, because one of the problems with whilst we get some great views of the arrivals, because there's a double fence here, I don't know if the camera can show it that easily, but there's a double fence, which means focusing is quite hard for the camera. So just going to take a walk up here and see if we can, there's some mounds which you can climb, see if we can get a picture of better view of the departing aircraft down here. So we've got this Lufthansa flight. This is heading off to Munich. So again, from here it'll head north up, it'll turn probably east before Portugal and head up over Central Europe. So again, a similar flight time back to the UK, but obviously much further east from here than the UK. So we'll just stand here and watch this one go, and then I'll walk further up, see if we can get some good views, not only of the inbounds but also of the outbound aircraft as well, to increase the video quality, which is the aim of the game. That's what I always try to do for you all, and that's what we enjoy doing, of course, watching the planes. So I'll be quiet whilst this one goes. And there goes the Lufthansa back up to Munich. As I say, probably similar 4.5 hours maybe, all dependent on the weather and the headwinds, but similar flight time back up to Germany. As to the UK, from here, not much in it, just bearing a lot further east. So we're just going to head up to where these plane spotters are now. And there's actually quite a good car park here. I parked about half a mile away from here, but didn't realise that there's actually quite a groovy little place to park your car. Less walking in these temperatures is a good thing. So what happens now is, as I say, it's gone a bit quiet, but around 2 o'clock, which is probably about, let's have a look, around 2 o'clock, yeah, about now, we're starting to see a lot more inbounds. So we've got a really good prominent position to get those from as well. And obviously, as you can see, where the fence is now, we're rising just above it. So we'll get really good views of the departures of the departing aircraft as they make their turn here before heading out onto the departing runway. So, all exciting stuff, all exciting stuff. I'll go and speak to my researchers, Jack and some, to see what's in and out in the next few minutes. So I was going to call it a day at 2, but we did start a bit late, and we've got a flurry of aircraft one after the other in the next few minutes. So Jack and some just stood next to me, and what's in and out in the next few minutes?
Well, there's a Jet 2 aircraft pushing back for Edinburgh.
Right.
And the next one due in is a 737 MAX 8 from Newcastle to...
Ah, right, okay, okay.
There's about 4 other arrivals behind.
Right, awesome, good stuff.
Three Jet 2s, one Iberia.
3 Jet 2s, 1 Iberia. Great.
It's Bradford, Bristol and Manchester.
Where's the Iberia one coming from? Is that Madrid? Yeah. So if you're just joining us this afternoon, we've been online now for about 53 minutes. We've seen a varied feast of aircraft. We've seen 737s, we've seen ATRs, the turboprops with Binter and Canary Fly, we've seen Iberias, we've seen TUIs, we've seen EasyJet, and we've seen the 757, the glorious Mighty flying pencil from Manchester. And as I said earlier, that will be pushing back shortly, because these low-cost airlines these days, in fact most airlines, have a much tighter turnaround now. So if you are just joining us, we are in a pole position above the runway here, the departing runway. So we're going to get the aircraft as they're turning before they depart, and of course prime position to see the inbounds as well, just over our right shoulder here. So we'll focus on those as we get them. So a very good afternoon if you've just joined us. Going to be here for another 15 minutes or so, another 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the aircraft movements. And of course it's December, so it's not peak season. The season never really dies off down in the Canaries because of the warm climate the year round, but obviously you don't get the families at this time of the year, not for another couple of weeks, as we get close to Christmas when the schools finish. So we've got a Jet 2 737 just making its way down now, and After that, we'll have a few aircraft coming in from Northern Europe. So all good stuff, all good stuff. So time now is just gone 2 o'clock local time, which if you're checking your clock back in the UK, it's exactly the same time zone. The Canaries doesn't observe mainland Spain general standard time. It observes its own, as in so many things in the Canary Islands, and as in so many things down in the Canaries that it doesn't observe with Spain. One of them is the time zone, amongst many other things. So the Canary Islands have obviously always been fairly autonomous in their approach to life, and whilst technically governed by Spain, they are free. It's like I don't know, Scotland versus England, I guess. It has its own, the Canarian government has its own president, and makes its own laws whilst abiding to Spain's wider national laws most of the time. And that's what I love about the Canary Islands, because it is, I mean, I love Spain, of course, but I'm a lifelong fan of Spain and mainland Spain, but I do love the Canaries and the Balearics. I just love everything about it. I love the language, I love the people, I love the ethos, and the way that Spain's developed. The way that Spain's developed over the last few decades since the death of General Franco, because don't forget, Spain was a dictatorship right up to the late 70s. And this is why you see so many abandoned hotels, which is another favourite of mine, down here in the Canaries, as you'll have seen if you've been watching the channel, momentsinthesky.com. So let me zoom in on this for you. And there she goes. And I can just see off to my right, off my right shoulder here, we've got another inbound. Where's this one from, Jack?
Newcastle.
Newcastle. So we've got a one coming in from Newcastle now.
Just see the dot.
Is it Jet 2?
TUI.
Oh, TUI, right. Okay. So again, if you've just joined us this afternoon, it is just gone 2 o'clock local time here in the Canary Islands. We are in Lanzarote, watching aircraft at Lanzarote Airport. It's going to get quite busy in the next few minutes. As I said earlier, I can just see off my right shoulder we've got a TUI 737 inbound, and we've seen the 757 land early this afternoon from Manchester with Jet 2. That will be on its way out shortly. That will be, hopefully we'll see that in the next few minutes. That'll just be boarding now. And we've seen some Binter ones and Canary Fly as well. So it's all happening down here at Tenerife South Airport. And all very, very exciting. We've been joined by some celebrity viewers, Hal and Kieran, and others no doubt who didn't introduce themselves, but if you want to stay private, that's absolutely fine, of course. But if you're in the room, don't forget to hit us up on the chat and let us know that you're here. And let's have a look at all views. Let's have a look at the messages. Yeah, so there's Kieran. At work today, unfortunately, but a great fan of the channel, a great fan of Patreon. Helps me to bring these videos to you month in and month out. And the next video on the channel, the next vlog, will be an Iberia Airbus A330, which I took earlier in the year from Heathrow down to Madrid. And that's done for cargo purposes. So if you want to try a long haul aircraft, Iberia's Airbus 330 in business class is very good. It's very good. So don't forget to give that a go if you want to try it. It's a daily flight from Heathrow, and the food is always very good on Iberia, as is their choice of wine. So I highly recommend it, and it's not particularly expensive. But here is the TUI 737 from Newcastle. And we've also got a 737 MAX coming in this afternoon as well. One of the newer generations of 737. Notorious for all the wrong reasons, but cured now, I would hope. And there she is. That was a hard hit on the ground there, wasn't it? Hard landing that. But very quiet, noticeably quieter than the older generation of 737s. And can't see anything else on approach just at the moment, but I'll consult my two researchers. What have we got next? Oh wow, that's a good photograph.
Jet 2 from Leeds, Bradford.
A 737?
737.
Yeah.
Airport in the world.
Best airport in the world. Well, it's in Yorkshire, of course it is.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Let's hope we can put it on the runway. That was cool.
So yes, we were just being told there by the researchers that we have a Jet 2 737-800 coming in from Leeds Bradford, Yorkshire's airport, since Doncaster Sheffield closed down. And we've got a Binter plane coming down now. Where's the Binter one going, chaps?
Binter aircraft is going to Tenerife North again.
Ah, going back to Tenerife North. So
We see the one come in.
we did see the one come in. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Quite a quick turnaround.
Oh, it's a very quick turnaround. I mean, it's only a small aircraft, really, isn't it? Although many passengers will be complaining because they only got to see half an episode of Big Bang Theory. But I suppose you could watch the other half on the way back, couldn't you, really? You get halfway through.
Do you reckon you get people doing back-to-backs on?
Just to watch the all episodes of Big Bang. Yeah, maybe, yeah. So we've got the Binter going back to Tenerife now. Probably only a 23-minute flight, 25 minutes, something like that. But again, very popular, having done it myself, having flown it a couple of times myself. It is a very, very popular route because, of course, the Canarians get a very heavy subsidised discount. So typically you will pay about €75 to fly between the islands with Binter, sometimes a bit less. But if it's €75 for a non-resident, the resident price is generally around €20. So it's just like getting on a bus. It's very heavily subsidised. It's a method of transport, but I'll be quiet because you probably can't hear me now with the noise of this. And so no sooner has the Binter one taken off, a modern fleet of ATRs, some of them just less than a year old. In fact, we've got something over my right hand shoulder now, which is the
737-800
from Leeds. Right, okay, yep. So we've got the 737-800 just inbound from Leeds now. Jet 2.
Jet 2. Got 3 Jet 2s on the way in.
3 Jet 2s on the way in.
From Bristol. And the third one is one of their new A321 Neos from
Ah.
Manchester.
Have you got registration?
Sun D.
Sun D, well done, excellent.
Delivered from Hamburg on the 11th of July.
That is just that is just impressive knowledge, that, Jack. That is impressive knowledge. Did you look that up? You looked that up, didn't you? Right, I was going to say.
We need to pack up after Leeds Bradford because we need to end on a high.
We do, yeah. I'm just being told we need to end on a high, so we need to end on a flight from Leeds Bradford. But that means we won't get to see the brand new Jet 2 A321 delivered from Hamburg, 11th of July this year. Sun D.
Sort of 5, 6 months old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Sunny D was turning kids orange though, wasn't it? Didn't you see that kid that turned orange because he drank too much Sunny Delight? Yeah.
I feel like that must have happened in America.
I don't know if that's a myth, but yeah, apparently this kid was drinking too much of it, so he turned orange. And if you just joined us this afternoon, we've got a Jet 2 737-800 from Leeds Bradford. Heavy on the reversers there. And there goes the 737 from Leeds Bradford, Yorkshire's airport.
It's the busiest airport in Yorkshire, isn't it?
It's probably the only airport in
I was
Yorkshire.
going to ask, is it the only airport in
Yeah.
Yorkshire?
So yes, it is Yorkshire's busiest airport. Yeah.
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 Times. That's the registration.
Did you get some good pictures there? Did you? All right.
The youth jet aircraft's been here all week.
Oh, has it?
It's night stopped.
All right.
Late yesterday.
Oh, that'll be for the crew rest run, won't it? Yeah. So that'll have delayed a lot of passengers then.
Yeah. There's probably about 200 people somewhere that have had an extra night.
Yeah.
EasyJet's expense.
I mean, I wouldn't complain.
No,
If it's when you get stuck at Gatwick, that's the problem, coming out here.
Yeah.
But going back, you're not going to complain for an extra night on an airline, are you? And plus your meals. And presumably some compensation, I guess, depending on the reason. I read
It might have been caused by there was some air traffic.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah. It said that, yeah. Yeah.
They'll probably get some off the hook for
For the compo.
Compo.
Yeah.
But they'll still have to pay.
But they've still got the hotel and all that, haven't they? Yeah. The duty of care, yeah. Yeah. Ah, yes, we've got another aircraft coming in here.
Bristol.
Bristol Airline.
Jet 2.
Jet 2, right, right.
They only operate the 737-800 from Bristol.
It's the same at Leeds, isn't it?
I think at least they have some 737-300.
Oh, they do.
400s.
Yeah, they do. The Malaga flight, yeah, yeah. 300s, yeah. Yeah.
Those aircraft are getting on a bit now.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Close to retirement.
Yeah, yeah. Oh wow, it's really good shots. So we've got another one on approach now. It's just one after the other at the moment.
So this is the 321 Neo.
This is the 321 Neo.
And this one has the full livery on it.
Okay, okay. So we've got one of the newer Jet 2 321s coming in now. Just delivered this year.
And they've got a lot more of these now, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
Big number on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Where was it delivered from?
Hamburger.
Hamburg.
But what month?
July.
What date in July?
12th?
The 11th.
The 11th. Close, close.
Delivered to
Manchester.
East Midlands.
Ah, it was, yeah. It went to East Midlands first. It did, yeah.
You're supposed to be able to bring across that.
Yeah, but you're the research team, aren't you?
What business do they have at East Midlands? Have they got a hangar there, or why is it like that?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's where they do the final inspections. I don't know. So yes, we've got. This is one of Jet 2's strategic aircraft of choice. In fact, the only strategic aircraft of choice, the Airbus A321 Neo. This is brand new this year, as I said, as we keep saying. Delivered 11th of June to Jet 2, and this is the future of Jet 2. This is the future of their airline. This will enable them to retire some of their older 757s, the 737-300s, and eventually some of their older 800s, because they do have some older 800s as well. So the strategic aircraft of choice for Jet 2 is what you're about to see. The brand new state-of-the-art 321 Neos. Brand new to Jet 2 just 6 months ago, this particular example. And a nice aircraft to fly on, I have to say. I do like the 321. We came down on one yesterday from Gatwick with BA, but that was an older one. These are state-of-the-art, brand new engines, very fuel efficient, very quiet. And a final safe landing for us today, so thank you everybody for joining. A round of applause for our research team here, Jack and somebody else, and a glorious afternoon ahead of us here in Lanzarote in the Canary Islands. So thanks again for watching. For everybody who tuned in, it all helps. Hope you enjoyed the planes and seeing the various different aircraft as much as I did and as much as the research team did. So that's a wrap for today, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now.